Hey, good morning everybody. I'm back here at the shop. It's Saturday the 13th of April. So, was pretty frustrated yesterday when I left. I thought that the O2 sensor may be able to fix the problem. I think I did fix one problem because I'm not getting the codes pertaining to the heater anymore. But obviously it's still running rich, and I don't think the O2 sensor was the problem. I think the O2 sensor was just reporting the problem. But while I was asleep last night, and this is honestly very true, I was thinking about this car and thinking about the fuel rail and how it enters, or how the fuel enters the fuel rail, which is right here on the back of the engine on the driver's side. And you could kind of, like, if you don't know which one it is, you just feel the hoses, and the stiff one's always the pressure line, the soft one's always the return. It's kind of how it works, yeah, provided that you have fuel pressure. Anyway, I remember that I did have a fuel injection kit, tester kit. So today I came back and I found the kit, and the kit's got like 1,000 different fittings, but what I'm hoping is that we found a fitting that will work with this injection system, and sure enough I did. So let me show you the kit and then show you what I did. So basically this is the fuel injection kit. It's from Harbor Freight. The reason I bought this kit is I bought it to help me diagnose the fuel system on some of my CIS injected cars, because it says specifically that it's designed for a CIS injected car. And as a matter of fact, I remember when I first got this kit, there was another piece of paper in there. There you go, that piece over there, and that actually tells you how to diagnose CIS fuel injected cars. So it actually has different tests that you can do. The kit comes with a bunch of fittings, obviously the pressure gauge, and a few test hoses. If I'm not wrong, I think they stopped making this kit. This is the one that was made by US General, but they updated it with a newer one by it's also Harbor Freight, but their line called the Maddox line. And it's a little bit more expensive. I think this kit was around $80 when I bought it, and now the new kit's around maybe $150 or between $120 and $150. But it's well worth the money if it can help you diagnose the problem. And this is the fuel gauge, the fuel pressure gauge rather, that comes with it. And what I've done is I've rigged this hose over here, which goes from the fuel pump into the rail, and then you can connect the pressure gauge to it right here. So let me see. I'm going to mount the camera back on the tripod because I'm going to want both my hands and a fire extinguisher here before I start this off, because you don't know whether any of these lines could leak until you really get into it. But yeah, so let me mount the tripod, let me get the fire extinguisher, and then I'm going to try to start it and then see what kind of pressure readings we're getting from the fuel pressure gauge. Because the only other two things that I can think of that could be a problem is the auxiliary air valve, the idle control valve. It could be stuck open or stuck closed, I don't know. Or the fuel pressure regulator, and I really don't see where the heck the fuel pressure regulator is, but I know it's in here somewhere. I guess I'm going to have to take half the engine apart to get to it, but it is what it is. So yeah, let's get started. Okay guys, I'm back on the car. So what I did this time around is I took the Schrader valve off the test kit. It's leaking a little bit over here, which is why I got this old t-shirt underneath it. But basically it seems like with the Schrader valves out, and I've got you can see here, right, I've got this line over here connected to a hose that's going to the return, so I'm trying to remove any signs of obstruction. When I pressurize the system, I'm getting a constant 50 psi, and the regulator is holding pressure, so that's great. Alright, so right now what I'm doing is I'm going into the live data and I'm looking at the O2 sensor. So hopefully it doesn't leak too bad out here. If it does, then we're going to have to stop this real quickly. But I'm going to go ahead and try to crank it. Alright, let's try that again. Pretty sure. Alright, that's strange. So, for some reason, I'm not able to start the car when I've got these lines connected, and I've removed all the Schrader valves. I've removed the Schrader valve here, I've removed the Schrader valve to this guy, and I've removed the Schrader valve to this guy. So it should technically flow without any kind of obstruction. And you can see that when I run the pump, it is pressurizing the system. Alright, let me play with it. What I did is I used a barb connector, removed the Schrader valve, and I just used hose clamps on either side of the fuel lines, as you can see there and there. So what appears to happen is that these guys require the Schrader valve to be depressed to make a connection, so the fuel will hold pressure inside the hose as well as in the Schrader valve, and it's not working very well. So let's try it now, see what kind of pressure we're getting. We're at 40 psi, just with everything off and at the ready. So I'm getting 30 psi right now, which is a lot less than I should be getting. I think I should be getting around 60-70 psi. So maybe that's a problem. I don't know. But right now, you know, I'm having zero obstruction. This is going into a jerry can, so that's a return. Maybe I'll put the return back and see what happens. Yeah, let's just do that. Let me put the return back and see what happens. But right now, I'm not getting that much pressure from the system. Alright, so the fuel return line's been plugged back in. Got 40 psi of pressure. I'm getting a steady 40 psi of pressure. Well, 35 psi of pressure now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on over here. That's the factory pump. It seems like this thing created a whole bunch of false readings, this hose connection setup. But I don't know why when I plugged it in to the Azure it behaved perfectly the way it should. I have no idea. But it looks like there is unrestricted flow to the fuel pump, to the tank from the return. I'm getting a steady 40 psi of pressure. It's not increasing from the pump. I should be getting more, I think. The pressure's holding, which it should be, but it's just a little bit low. So what's the story? I have no idea. If you guys can tell me, I'd be very grateful. Thank you very much.